Hey guys, I am back from over the pond, back to America. Kind of missing all the accents and just the beautiful old scenery of England. It was so amazing to go visit. I am working diligently on getting all of the videos and photos that I took compiled and laying them out and figuring out how many videos I'm going to be creating from everything. It was 2 amazing days of working at Uden Funeral Home, and so I'm digging through all of that. So those videos will be coming in the next few weeks, so keep an eye out for them. But I just wanted to share 3 main things from my experience just being in England, not just working at the funeral home. So the first thing that I really took note of was the transportation. Can kind of seem overwhelming when you come from a place where all I do is ride a car, drive a car, ride in a car, take cars as my mode of transportation. So going to an area where didn't really want to drive a car because I was a little intimidated by the wrong side of the road thing. I'm so thankful I didn't rent a car. We Ubered a little bit and we realized that pretty quickly we needed to figure out the bus and train system. And it's actually super easy. There's Oyster cards which allow you around the London area to ride on the bus and on the trains. So we actually became pretty good at doing some hop off, hop on, get on the train, get on the tube, go, go, go. So we were quite impressed with ourselves, but definitely figuring that all out. We couldn't buy new cards on a Sunday when we tried to, so getting around on that day was a little harder. So plan ahead for public transportation, but you can do it super easy. Driving was a little scary. There's no side to the roads, guys. So where here, there's like a side buffer of a road between the car and the line and like a sidewalk, and there that doesn't exist. So I was constantly grabbing the kids and pulling them away from the curbside because there was no barrier. Cars were right there on the side of the sidewalk. So that made me a little nervous. And then very narrow roads, very narrow streets, and so cars park on both sides, facing all directions, cattywampus. And so a lot of kindness with drivers, where if you're driving and someone's coming at you, one of you has to dip into an open spot so the other one can go by. And it worked pretty seamlessly. Every time we encountered that, people were really kind and respectful to each other. So that was my number 1, transportation. Number 2, besides working at the funeral home, which were just bar none 2 of the best days I've ever had, professionally, I would say. Personally, we wanted to be away from a city, be away from kind of the tourist stuff. So we chose a location for a specific reason in a little city, 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours away from where we were, and we used the transportation to get there. So I would recommend finding something way outside the city that interests you in a little random town. Maybe there's a building you want to see, or a historic thing, or just a random grave, which is what we ended up going on an adventure to find. And I mean, it's like America. You go to visit, let's say, Denver. You want to get outside the city. How do you even pick a little town to go kind of immerse yourself in local fare? And so finding one little thing that you're going to visit there is key. And so to us, we got to eat at a local restaurant and eat all the local food and really just get the experience I think we wanted to, being in a very old, natural English setting. So to us, that was really critical. So I would recommend that you get outside the city, get outside your comfort zone, go explore, pick a random destination and go to it so you can kind of be part of the culture that you're visiting. So number 3 was dining. Here in America, we pay low to our wait staff so that they make most of their money in tips. Well, other countries are not all that way. When you go travel and you go to dine, make sure you know what is right in the country you're in, so you're not rude by not tipping, or you don't leave more money than you need to. So to us, that was a huge thing going to England, was finding out kind of their tipping and how their wait staff is compensated. It was a little gray area because we were told when you're in a bar, don't tip. Like, you don't tip at a pub. But we were told if you're in like a dining restaurant where you're being served, you should tip. However, there's not a place to tip on the receipts. However, once in a while we would have a receipt that said, please, tip your server, or something along that line, or service gratuity not included, or something like that. So then it was very clear for us, yes, we need to give them something. Now, because this is the setup there, you're not pressured to turn a table. So here in America, the more tables you turn, the more money you can make from more patrons. There, it's not that way. You feel relaxed eating. You feel like you have all the time in the world. You don't have anybody pressuring you. You don't have your appetizer, salad, and entree coming out at the same time. You can order when you want. It's so much more relaxed. But I found that because I feel like I've been trained to maybe hustle through a meal, where I usually don't like to do that, it was almost like, gosh, are they ever gonna check on us? Why are we not moving forward with this meal? But it was because they were letting us just enjoy, because for business purposes, they didn't need to move us along. That was huge. That was a huge thing for me, and that gave me a good insight into, I think, the culture as a whole, that it's a little more relaxed than us crazy Americans are. I think we're always in a hurry. And it was just nice to take a breath and sit back, have a pint for lunch, and just enjoy talking and being part of England. So those are my 3 main things that I found while I was in England. Transportation, get outside the cities, and relax and enjoy, especially when you're dining. I'm going to tell you my a little bonus one, something I found. There's a store called Primark, and I'm probably the crazy American who bought into whatever marketing they came up with. It's almost like H&M, ladies, on steroids and more steroids. Like this sweater, loved it. I went shopping there twice and almost cried when I tried to go a third time, and it was closed for the evening, and we were leaving too early the next morning. And I'm not a huge shopper. Like, I don't like to go just shop. Something about the store I loved. Maybe I felt like I was getting deals, but Primark, find it if you're in England. It's kind of lovely. So thanks guys. Here's my feedback on my little trip to England with my family. Watch for all the videos to come on everything to do with the funeral business in England. Bye.